Hello, Steady Eddie here. A strange title for this video. I went to the doctor's and I booked a flight. Okay, so I'm not suggesting that doctors or hospitals, include the travel agency in their services, nothing like that. But I'll make sense of that. Now, as I said in my recent video, hospitals and hospital appointments and travel plans don't mix very well. So I'm suffering from whatever the threat of the big C. So I finished radiotherapy about 4 weeks ago, um, and I had a doctor's appointment yesterday. To see how I was doing, how I had to be covered from the effects, and and basically of the half hour that I spoke to the doctor and his assistant nurse, about 25 minutes was about me going abroad for the sometime in the new year, and 5 minutes was discussing what tablets to take. So basically, I three months. It'll take 3 months. That's the recommended by the doctor for the radiotherapy treatment, the swelling to go down, and then they can do an MRI scan. A much needed MRI scan. So I'm all for that. But I thought I was surprised at that 3 months. But I suggested to the doctor last time I saw him. Would it be better to me to go private? He said no. They'll recommend the same time. You can't do an MRI scan when the brain is swollen after radiotherapy. 3 months is about right. Well, 3 months is 13 weeks. So I want to get away in the new year, and I stress the importance of that. I mean, this is likely to be my last winter on this planet, so it'll be a fairly miserable winter. And also, if I have the MRI scan in January, and then wait for the results. I have an appointment at the end of January, but I've since found that that's not the actual MRI. The MRI comes earlier in January. That's the result of all of this. And after when they get the results, they've suggested recommending chemotherapy. They don't know yet, but hopefully I don't need it, but a mild form of chemotherapy. And and I never ever, I was surprised at this. And another visit for another brain operation at Derriford Hospital. They've even suggested that. So they are doing they are doing everything they can to clear the cancerous mass out of my brain. And do their stuff and keep me alive. So I'm grateful for that. I am grateful for that. But what I had the appointment at the end of January, and a spanner was thrown in the works when I heard that it was early on in January that's where the actual MRI scan takes place. But they can't give me an exact date. Now, if they'd have given me an exact date for the MRI scan, then I would have booked a flight afterwards. I would have got that out of the way with first because the results can take a few weeks, and I don't see any reason why they can't Skype or WhatsApp these results to me. So basically, I spoke to the nurse and I phoned it up and I said, I need to live for something. I've got to live for something this weekend. This could be my last hurrah and my last shot at Thailand. And I want to meet the friends that I've made there over the years. I don't want my winter to be spent, here in boring old rainy old England. I want a bit of sun, even if it's only for a few weeks. I want a bit of enjoyment in my last winter. Uh, so it could be my last. Hopefully it isn't, but my last visit to the land of smiles in the new year. So I put this message across to the doctor, and they understood. I mean, and him and his nurse understood. So she phoned me back later, and basically, they'd obviously spoken about it, and they said, you know, you booked that flight, and we'll work the MRI around it when you come back. Okay, so 13 weeks is about right for an MRI scan after radiotherapy finishes. But I don't see the difference between 13 and 16 weeks. It's not that much. I mean, you've got to, you can't do anything without risk. Skydiving. People go skydiving or jumping off buildings, and that carries a hell of a lot of risk. Somebody got killed in Bitsaya not so long ago. Jumping off a building. It's everything carries risk. So I know I'm being a bit reckless, but when she said that, I thought that's it. So I booked a flight to Thailand for January. Um, Now, I'm not really saying when, because most people have good intentions, but there's a few idiots out there who want to make things difficult for you. So I'm not revealing details of the flight just yet. But I have booked a flight, um, and and that's it as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to Thailand in January. Um, so of course I'm gonna eat, drink, and be merry, and act as if it's uh, my last hurrah. It'd be great to meet the people who've got in touch with me and wish me well over the last few months. Um, but let's make it clear. I People are saying, well, can't you have the MRI in Thailand? It's a reasonable price and all that. I don't go abroad to end up in hospitals. I don't want to. I want to enjoy myself when I'm abroad. I don't want to be doing hospital appointments. The last 6 weeks that I was in Thailand this year, I was in a hospital bed. I thought this is not what I come to Thailand for. So, it's not, I don't even want to do an appointment, a hospital appointment in Thailand. I want to get all that stuff sorted out here in England before I travel, or when I come back from travel. I mean, because I know I'm repeating myself now, but when I come back, I'm presumably had a great holiday, and I hope it goes that way. Uh, when I come back, I will feel refreshed. I feel that I've had a good time, uh, which is I haven't had for a long time, and basically, I'll feel like I've done something this year. At the beginning of the year. So, and when I come back, then I'll deal with MRI scans. Hopefully, they've got one waiting for me because I did I will let them know when my flight times are, so that they can work around it. I know I'm not ungrateful. I know there's a queue there. There's a queue for the waiting list, but they I booked the flight first. They haven't given me a date for the MRI scan and not an actual date. So I've told them, and they understand, because they understand because I'm not getting it for free. I'm a taxpayer. I've got 35 years of national insurance contributions. So I'm not getting it for free. So I will be intending to be out in Thailand in January, and basically, if that's my last holiday, I want it to be a good one. So I'm basically, and when I come back, I will be dealing with all the chemotherapy and that brain operation, which surprised me, I think there's recently more money been put into the NHS. So, I mean, that's the first time anyone's mentioned that to me. But, you know, t- whatever happens in 2025, if I can have a nice, I'll treat the holiday as if it's my last one. Hopefully there'll be more, but I'll treat it as if it's my last one, my last hurrah. Uh, so basically that's about it. So I've booked the flight, uh, and I'm waiting. Hopefully they'll give me an exact date for the MRI scan when I come back. So all right, I've said my piece on that one. Okay, have a good day.